Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Las Vegas Grand Prix of Tier 3, the season finale, here in the Las Vegas Strip Circuit. 17 corners around this brilliant, chaotic circuit under the lights here in Vegas. Let's get you in on circuit. Right now, we're getting the loading screen, the lobby is up, and the track's hot for about 18 minutes of qualifying, and then 28-lap race to ensue for probably absolute chaos, considering what we did see 2 days ago in Tier 1. That race will be postponed till next Sunday, of course, because of the unfortunate circumstances that did occur. So, season finale, let's look at the standings. V-Carb lead over Red Bull by, let's see here. Let me do math here. Someone do 206 minus 174. That is your gap for the Constructors. Championship is already done. Young is the champion already, of course. Actually, wait. What? Oh, no, I don't know how this works. My bad. This is round 9, by the way. Unlike the round 12 for the other series. But anyways, fully decked out grid, 20 drivers, full teams. It's all to play for. Red Bull versus the Racing Bulls team. Who will win the Constructors Championship after V-Carb has already wrapped it up? It's all coming down to this. Can Visa Cash App Racing Bulls win the Constructors Championship, or will it go to or will Red Bull be able to carry on and do a full sweep of the Constructors for the most successful team in Intrepid Racing League? We'll see in about a few moments time, a couple minutes, about an hour maybe, if the green flags stay out. If we don't see any safety cars, which is so unlikely, I would probably go for the lottery. Anyways, let's go out here on circuit. Down the second straight here, let's open up some of these different graphics that we got here. Telemetry, yeah. We got someone going for a pitter-patter, going for intermediates maybe for a first run. I mean, you could try and go for that, or does he have a quali ban? Who knows? Anyways, of course, something about this track is the ERS track is a bit strange. Of course. Actually, it's kind of straightforward, but here's the thing we gotta know this for. The Las Vegas Strip, this straight, all the way down, 2-kilometer expanse, all the way towards turn 15. No, turn 14, 15, and 16 in the chicane. It's a very long straight, of course, with a pretty long DRS on it, and this is the main overtaking zone on the circuit. Everyone waits for this moment. And then, okay, I don't have the sound on. Whoops. Anyways, we'll look at Louis as he starts his first lap and goes around the fastest corner in Formula 1. Turn 17, getting out of it, and now braking right at the curb there. Getting the car turned in over the aces and card-shaped curbs. Now this corner, just a bit of a lift. He got it a bit wide, though. It's not ideal, but he gets the DRS wide open. Now burned down to about 80%. And now put it in medium for the rest of the straight. Then brake at the 100-meter board, then get it turned in for the 90-degree right-hander as we reach the sphere section. Now keep it tight and then turned in. Brake a bit early for the chicane, try not to lock it up, then get it turned in. Nice and tighty within track limits, crucially. Now you gotta keep it nice and tight, try not to hit the wall here. He did hit the wall a little bit. He might lose a bit of time from that, and maybe a bit of wear on those tires. Of course, we are using simulation damage in this game. So any taps of the barriers, any slides will wear your tires and could increase risks of puncture. Now, he's got a bit of not the most amazing exit, but still pretty decent. Now it's this long expanse. Burn all the ERS. Burn, baby, burn. Down to 20% is the ideal. Or actually, really all you got Burn it all. Now, try to harvest a little bit as you brake for the chicane. Keep it nice and tight. Don't cross over track limits. Then, now keep it out. Burn the rest of it. All of it. Get it out of the way as you run to the line. As you go to the fast turn 17, he's out of ERS. That you want to be out of ERS by the end of here. And he goes with a 131.691. Nicely done there. MJW goes with a 133.394. Pretty far behind there for him. Slayus can go third. As he goes up to the line, Hiex in the V-carb, crucially, P2 behind Louis. Now let's see if we can get the gap up. 7/10 is the gap here as they come off their flyers. Flyer DJ finishing his flyer. Flying to go 3 seconds slower. Young, I believe the champion already, goes 9th. Only 6 seconds off. He probably abandoned this lap, and he's probably going for it now. Audi RS4 goes 2nd in the Kick Sauber, which will actually be going to... Oh, and Solz can go up to a provisional pole with Edge behind that in the McLaren. It's a McLaren 1-3 as they come off their banker laps by less than 0.2 of a second. Seven's able to beat that one by 0.03 of a second with a 131.581. So it's really close coming off of these final banker laps as Divine Serenity can go 13th, 3.7 seconds off. And now they come back to the pits for what probably will be maybe a second and third run. Who knows? Usually the norm is either second or third. Once as Dr. B gets a 5-place grid penalty from the game for colliding with Solz, and he's sideways in by the sphere. That is turn 5, I believe. And he's collided with Solz, who's currently running P2, and he's given himself a 5-place grid penalty that the game has given him. Because, I mean, in this game, if you make contact with people in qualifying, you're gonna get a grid penalty from the game, and there's nothing the league can do to stop that. Maybe if it was someone else's fault, they might get a penalty points or something like that. But for the most part, Dr. B here is gonna have to take a big penalty, especially at a street circuit. I mean, at Vegas, qualifying isn't one of the most important things in racing leagues, of course. I mean, in some other games it is, but in F125, if you're not at, like, Monaco, your qualifying position, it's obviously it matters, but of course, it doesn't matter as much because the positions are always going to change in the end of league races, and there can be chaos, anything can happen, of course. As he goes 16.32 seconds off the pace. I think he is actually going for a real lap here. Anyways. Oh my god, I just dropped my phone again. Losing a line here, and I actually brought myself some water. Usually never bring myself water, usually forget to. All the frickin' time. And it was currently the top banker is a 1:31. Here comes Pitter Patter up to the line. He can go 9th with his teammate. Or no, that's Golden Sniper going 7th. His teammate's going to come into the pits at the end of his lap. Oh, and Audi has been disqualified from 5th for what I'm assuming he's sitting in the pit lane, and that's what's disqualified him. Sitting in the pit, already drama, and we're not even out of qualifying. We're not even halfway through qualifying yet, and we're already seeing the drama that Vegas brings since 2023. As his car pulls over, and that Kick Sauber's done. And that 5th place that he was in, it's gone. He's down to 20th now. Of course, I mean, that's what disqualified means, but yeah, he's gone. So he's starting last in a 20-car field. That is so devastating, especially if you were on pace for 5th. He's going to be dreading that for all it's worth. As here comes Solz around on his outlap as he comes through turn, I believe this is 13. No, that's turn 12. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna see here, what do we got? Anyone on laps? We have FFS Dex now. Coming off of turn 16, the final real corner. Through turn 17. Bit slower than he might want to be, but he only improves by 1,000th of a second, so nothing good for him really there. Pitter Patter's gonna start a lap here. Used a lot of ERS on it. Not really knowing the ERS strat at this track, does he? Young is going to start a lap now. This is what I want to see as ZDG Panda goes up to 8th. 1.5 seconds off the pace as Young hits the barriers. And I think that'll be it for his lap. He's going to call it off there. MJW is going to retire from the session. He's crashed. At the exit, yeah, he is crashed. As you can see there, out of the session. And Risers is stopped on track at the end of there. I think he was burning off some fuel, maybe. You might see some drivers do that around. What they'll do is they'll stop and they'll brake while in here. Chismer is, I think he's forgotten he's got his overtake button on. He's about to realize it because he's on his out lap. Dude, tier 3, man. Tier 3. Oh, that is Young in the barriers. On a lap that he had already abandoned, he's going to find himself in the barriers. And I don't even know how much time is left in this qualifying because, of course, the caution light at the top there. We have cautions in all 3 sectors right now. Drivers maybe just going slow to let people through. And as you can see, yeah, that is one of the things that's really annoying. I can't see how much time is left in qualifying because there's just these cautions everywhere. And yeah, he's missing a wing. That's going to be, he's missing, that's about red damage there. Orange damage on that car. There's no lap in that. No lap. He's going to be like 2 seconds off the pace, especially at a street circuit like this one. Now, of course, the wings at this circuit are in the downforce. Of course, from 0 to 50, it is, the wings here are 0, 3, usually. All the way down for this main straight. You can make it around all this 90-degree corners, blah, 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 whatever. Anyways, we have 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. As you can just see, for just barely, as Risers hits the barriers just a little bit there. It won't matter because it's the end of his lap when it comes to tire wear, but it will matter for the time that he's taken, and he's going to come up to 8th, 1 second off the pace. So, the gaps here, huge in qualifying, except for that top 4 there, separated by less than that, as Young is going to retire from the session in the pit lane. He's going to be starting from 19th on the grid. Whoa. Now that is not ideal. Anyways, we're gonna see here. Shizmer still realizing that he doesn't know how to use the ERS. And 7 has left the session as Edge goes to provisional pole in the late stages of this session. Let's see if I can get 7 back in here. Let's see. There we go. Edge will go to pole. The top 3 is separated by less than a 10th, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. Now, it's saying communicating with online services. Have I disconnected from the session? I would like to know that, because that's not ideal if I have. I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, so Edge now goes up to provisional pole. I think he'll have 1 more lap in him when he gets back to the pit lane. If he can get back to the pit lane, that is, of course. And now I'm just gonna check if I'm disconnected. Okay, 7 has joined, so we're not disconnected. That is a worry. That is a worry sometimes in the F1 games. Of course, for anyone who doesn't play the F1 games, because I know I do put a bunch of advertisements out on like 50 different servers, and we have about 4 minutes left. And finally, a section where there isn't a local yellow somewhere on the circuit. And we should be seeing people going out about the 2-minute 30 mark, going for the best drive possible, especially the toe down the main back straight, the Vegas strip, so the strip straight there. That sounded wrong. And I need a sip of water. Ooh. That was okay. We let it go. Anyways, we're gonna see here as we see Golden Sniper on the lap. Actually, I think he's aborted it. Yeah, he has. He wants to get back to the pit lane. He does not want to go this early, and this will be a bit of a stretch for him. Full push on an in lap. Renato Games official. Thank you for the raid. Hello. Hello. That's the first raid I've had. I mean, it's not my channel, but hello, Renato Games official. Thank you for raiding. Don't really know how to react, of course. Thank you, Renato. And now people are starting to come back to the pit lane at the end of qualifying here as fast as they can. Slayist will retire from the session on track. So that's, yeah, no, that's just on track retirement there. So not necessarily allowed. Hello, Renato. Very nice to see you here. How you doing today on this fine evening? Or night at this point, as we see now Flyer DJ come across through turns 12. Now down the back straight. He's 5/10 up on his time as he comes through the second sector. So what can we see here from Flyer DJ? With about 2 minutes 30 seconds left to go in qualifying. P2 on CDR, congratulations on your podium. Good job, Golden Racer. Hi, Rahul. Biggest league of Brazil? That's impressive. That is impressive. Hello, Rahul. Anyways, 5G's gonna come up to the line. He can only go P17. I'm sorry. Now, these times you could call. I mean, let's give him some slack. It's tier 3. The tier 1 times were in the 30s. And the midfield was in these 31s. So, the low 30s it was for tier 1. That's why I'm a bit laughing. But, anyways, we're coming to the final section of qualifying. People are starting their final laps. Especially here, 7. Trying to take back what was his provisional pole position. This is his final lap. He's gone fastest in the first sector. 4-7 now coming through. He's a 10th up on his time, so that is definitely going quickly here. Now coming out of the chicane, awkward chicane, the cookie cutter chicane, really. And now past the Venetian. Now he goes towards FFS. Dex can go P3. Very nice job there, and I think that'll be his final lap as well. 7's gonna either get impeded there, or it's gonna be a very nice toe there for a bit. 3/10 sub. This could be pole for 7 if he can keep this lap together as they come through the final. He's going to get a nice toe from the Ferrari of Flyer DJ. Louis can go to pole position with a 1:31.401. Very nice for the Red Bull in their chase for the constructors. Here comes 7 now coming around the final corners. Can he take pole position here in Vegas under the lights? Reaching speeds of 200 miles an hour. Yes, he can! With a 1:31.296. 7 takes provisional pole. Edge has invalidated his lap time. Solz is still on a lap. Risers as well. Everyone's still going around. The session is not even over, and the action's coming up. Pitter Patter won't make it to the line. Hex won't make it to the line. Crucially, of Racing Bulls cannot make it to the line. Racing Bulls having a horror show of qualifying. Spencer is able to go P16. Who else we have? Rubik Steve Uter can go only P10, cannot improve. FFX Dex is on a lap time, trying to improve here. No, they're going to be in the pit lane. So it's all down to Solz. He's going fastest. Can Solz take pole position for McLaren in an absolutely insane qualifying? ZDG Panda's also on a flyer now, coming out of the final corner, tapping the wall a little bit. He's not up on his time. I don't think he can do anything about this. Solz coming out of turn 16. ERS burn, baby, burn towards the final corner. Reaching 200 miles an hour, 203. Up to the line. Solz cannot do it by 12 hundredths of a thousandth of a second. Can Risers do anything? No. Toasty. He's 3/10 up. Is not enough for pole. But he can go P6. Takes down his teammate, who's not up, and I don't think we'll be able to do anything about this one. P7 for Golden. Serenity's not able to do anything. Louis is not on a lap. And 7 will take pole position under the lights in Las Vegas in the desert. 7 is your man for pole ahead of Solz and Louis. And Red Bull it's a dream for Red Bull, a horror for Racing Bulls. And Racing Bulls needed a good qualifying if the gap is only, it's a gap of 32 points. It's a lot. Oh, it's raining. It's raining in Vegas. At the end of qualifying, it came at the end, it came after qualifying, so that's good for these drivers. But it's raining in Vegas, and I wonder what's gonna happen when we come to the race. Will it rain in the race? Now, we're in the desert. You know how unlikely this is? The game is really weird here. Never rains in like those Middle East, but as soon as it comes to the middle of the desert in Las Vegas, the game apparently has a chance of rain there. But the front row is going to be 7 ahead of Rhythm, as 7 takes pole position under the lights in Las Vegas. Second row, Louis and Edge, Dex, Toasties, Colton Sniper, Hiex, Risers, Rubik's Uter, Divine Serenity 6, ZDG Panda, Pitter Patter 95, MJW 28, Slayus, Shizmer, Dr. B, Flyer DJ, Crucially Young, and Audi can only be P20, but it'll be Dr. B will be starting at the back of the grid with a 5-place grid penalty. What a qualifying session we have had. And it's not raining at the start of the race. And someone's already ready to. Bruh. Now, that is not allowed. It's gonna give drivers less time to fix their tire pressures and setups, and oh yeah, no, that's really just ruined a lot of drivers' points. It gives them way less time to think of a strategy. And for the final time in Tier 3, in the darkness of the desert, under the lights, the shining lights of the Las Vegas Strip, for the final time in Tier 3 this season, 20 drivers fight out in a duel in the desert. Who will win at the end of 28 laps, which should be in about 45 minutes to an hour's time. It's definitely going to be a one-stopper. But under the lights here in Vegas, the 5 lights are on. And it's go time! 7 gets a good start, but Solz gets a better one. He's alongside him as they go into turn 1. On the inside, Solz is able to get the lead, but it's just barely, and he does get it. Solz leads ahead of 7 ahead of Edge. Louis dropping back to 6 as Toastian gets around him. He goes up to P5. Hiex dropping down to 9, crucially, for the Constructors' Championship. As Rubik's Uter is able to get him young up to P11 after an amazing start. He started P18. Oh, and a bit of contact as well at the back here as they go through the chicane. 7 ahead of, as we have a crash already. That's Slayus in the barriers by turn 3. And now as they come out of the severe area, Solz leads the race ahead of 7, ahead of Edge. It's a McLaren 1-3 and a Red Bull 4-6 as the V-Carbs swap around in the midfield. He down to 12th. He's had a horrible start of this race, speeding around the Las Vegas Strip, and now they go down the famous straight, 2 kilometers. Toasty's following FFS Dex. He's burning all that he has to try and get into 4th. But here comes Edge closing in. Here he comes to the outside. He backs out of it, but behind there's plenty of action. Golden Sniper and Louis go side by side. They make a bit of contact as well. Golden cuts the corner, and he's still behind, but now they go down towards turn 17, the final corner. And they get to lap 2, Edges side by side, almost fighting for the top 3. These McLarens are feisty off of lap 1. We see side by here 3 wide as they go into turn 2. Riser just has to back out of that one. Louis goes off the track as Riser's actually way off. Almost contact as these drivers are already going absolutely mental. Right behind them, side by side between the 2 Kick Saubers. Audi RS4 has had an amazing charge and a bit of contact. Someone loses their wing. I think that was one of the Racing Bulls as well. As into the chicane we go. Oh, and Louis gets pushed off the track by Rubik's Tutor. Louis gets a 3-second time penalty, which will probably be removed. But now that was absolutely outrageous from the Aston Martin to push him off the track. We saw that in the Tier 1 race as well. The 2 Kick Saubers now P10 and 11 as Young was able to put himself up to P9. After on the second lap, he's gained nearly 10 positions. Let's look at the tires. Now we're going to see here Young burning everything that he has, trying to get past. It's now 7 is going to go past Solz in the DRS zone. As down the strip straight, that sounds really wrong to say. Toasty looking for it on FFS Dex. He's not able to get close enough. It's side by side at the back here. Hix is able to get past here. MJW getting past Shizmer. As EG Panda getting past the Ferrari around the outside of the chicane. Told you with plenty of overtaking here. Someone loses their front wing a bit there. Golden Sniper now gets past FFS Dex. The 2 Red Bulls fighting out with this Alpine here. Going into turn 1, side by side. FFS Dex almost gets the move done, but Golden is able to hold on. It's a an Alpine 4-5. But here comes FFS Dex back on the inside. Now down to turn 3. Who's going to win out this battle? On the first DRS straight of the track, he's going to back out of it. The 2 Red Bulls collide, and one of them almost goes on the track. Oh, and that is on the track as the 2 Kick Saubers come together. Both Kick Saubers coming to grief at turn 3. As they make contact, someone else made contact here. That's Rubik's Tutor. FFS Dex is down to 9. And there was big contact by the time they got to turn 3 on lap 3. The 2 Kick Saubers coming to grief as well, both going into the runoff zone. One of them backwards in the barriers. That's definitely going to be rear wing damage. But now we see Louis chasing down Golden Sniper with the DRS. That is MJW, who's found the barriers before this long straight. They're all going around to avoid him. I told you it was going to be chaos. And now here comes Solz almost. 7 goes defensive as Solz' teammate looks for a move as well. Now, side by side here. Louis looking for the move, goes to the inside, able to get it done. Oh, they make contact, and in the barriers for both of them. Both drivers losing their wing. Oh, and making contact again. Carnage down at the chicane. The 2 Louis and Golden Sniper's race is ruined. And there's not going to be a safety car, no race intervention. Divine Serenity now is going to be on the inside there. Golden Sniper, the Aussie, hard break under the lights in Vegas. They gambled and the gamble didn't pay off. Plenty of drivers into the pits for damages. We have 3 drivers in. Now we see behind these two going side by side. That's Flyer, DJ, and Risers, and Golden Sniper and Louis. This is horrible for Red Bull. Young is now up to P5 ahead of them. Racing Bulls is definitely, at this stage, probably going to win the Constructors if it stays this way. They have a 32-point lead, but of course, anything can change. I think it requires a 1-2 from, or at least a 1-3 from Red Bull, with V-Carb scoring basically no points, as now Edge and the 2 McLarens go side by side. Edge is now going to be they're going to go 3 wide for the race lead into the chicane. A bit of contact as well as Edge goes for the race lead. He gets it. And both McLarens, so it's a 1-2. They swap and 7 drops to 3rd. Crazy battling in the final chicane through turns 14. 7 drops down to 3rd as Edge takes the lead of the race from 3rd. And now they go to turn 1 and Solz is going to be chasing down his teammate. Oh, and a bit of contact in the back. That's Serenity in the barriers. And he's not missing anything part of his front wing. But he's going to cut that wall, and Slace is going to be in the pit lane. Oh, and he is missing a part of his wing. Oh, and a lot of fighting here. Risers and Flyer DJ, these two come in to battles again, coming to blows. Risers goes all the way wide. He gets the run that he wants. Now MJW is going to follow them. And MJW behind his teammate, braking very early. Indeed, and still almost missing the corner. How? And now the field's very split up. And at least they made it past the first chaotic bit, you could say? You could say they have. Still, plenty of trains and little actions here that can still happen. And we're only on lap 5. And actually, my apology, it wasn't 28 laps, it's 25 laps. So whatever. Sue me. Anyways, that is one of the Ferraris. Both Ferraris, almost. Oh, yeah, that is someone. MJW has found the barriers at turn 12. How much smelling salts did the drivers have before the race? A lot. Apparently. Or they just had a bunch of alcohol. Who knows? Anyways, the top 3 still in their own little train here, probably swapping positions as much as they please. And this is going to be Rubik's Shooter in the pits. Golden Sniper is coked up. I mean, he's Aussie, so, like, I think that's just him. Anyways, here comes Hiex. Almost looking for the inside in the final corner. You can do it. Not hard. Not very difficult. As MJW is going to go a bit wide. Now here comes Hiex on the inside. Now to the outside as they go to turn 2. The long right-hander. Nearly flat out if you're brave enough. If you have the confidence in your car. And that's going to be an easy move for Hiex. MJW is going to lose out another position after spinning around on the last lap there. As now you turn the chicane or whatever, I don't know the corner names. There's no, I don't know the corner numbers. And I'm not going to figure out. I'm not going to try to figure them out. Anyways, as you see here, on the back of MJW, Shizmer, looking for a move, eventually. And here's the thing you gotta remember, you can't make the move too early, because the DRS zone, it's not on the exit, it's not before this corner, it's all the way down here. As you can see on the map, there's a little green dot on the track map, it's about right here, that line there is the DRS technical point, so Shizmer is gonna have an easy overtake here. If he's even gonna use his DRS. He's not. He's going to use all his battery because he sucks at ERS management. And now into the final chicane. There's going to be a little bit of a debris that goes up. Little graphic particles things. Nothing to worry about there. But that's going to be MJW in the pit lane. Probably for any damage. Does he feel like he have damage? Any non-visual? And he gets a 10-second time limit for speeding in the pit lane. Whoa. Bad race already goes to worse for Ferrari. And let me guess, they messed up the pit stop? Oh, wow. Uh, anyways, we see, that's only something that can happen in career mode. Uh, anyways, Young on the back of FFS Dex. Dex has gone past the Racing Bulls. I almost said AlphaTauri. That's 2 years out, bro. But I'm assuming he's gonna get him here very easily. Very, very easily. Interesting tire warming measures there. As we're gonna actually look at Solz just for a second. I wanted to see if he was actually gonna make a dive on his teammate or something. That would have been absolutely outrageous and diabolical and completely outlandish. As now Young is gonna look for the inside, but cannot get it done. If he went for that, that would have been the craziest thing since what happened on Sunday. And now 7 looking for it on Solz. Next up, there's Toasty about 4 seconds back in his own area here. You've got a 4-second gap on both sides of him. You can just chill and cruise to the end of this one if there is no safety cars. If there is, then he's cooked. That's for damn sure. And I'm trying to look. This is very shocking here, how spread out and calm this were. Keep in mind that the Tier 1 did worse off their first lap and first few laps. We didn't only had 3 green flag laps in Tier 1 before the race was red flagged and eventually postponed because of glitches. So just think of that. And you know, Solz might be in a bit of trouble here. He's going to lose the DRS to his teammate. So he's going to be under real pressure from 7. As 7 closes in, goes to the outside now before they get to the chicane. I think Solz is going to tuck back in. McLaren 1-2 is gone, but they're going to make a little bit of contact. Solz into the back. No harm done there, but okay. No harm done there, but it might be a bit unsettling, of course, as someone has found the barriers at Slayus, who has found the wall and he's put a little bit of debris on track for good measure. So, avoid that, drivers. It's off the line, so I mean, it should be pretty easy to avoid it, but hey, who knows? Tier 3 drivers can be a little bit, stupid. Anyways, we're gonna see here side by side, going through the final corner. GX gets up to P11 ahead of Fire DJ, in a nice move, swooping around swooping in through the inside of turn 17. He's still in the DRS, so he can do that very easily. He's already pit as GX, so you get some nice and easy moves. Well, look at that. How spectacular. As they go into turn 3. You know, this is more boring than I thought it would be. I was just hoping for absolute chaos, carnage, and everything under, and all of the above. As what a line that was. Sweet mother of Jupiter. Anyways, we're going to see side by side into turn 3 between Louis and Dr. B. As they go into the chicane, Louis, of course, coming to blows with Golden Sniper earlier, had to pit for a complete repair of the front wing on his car. Divine Serenity following Flyer DJ, looking for a move on the straight in a few moments' time. And Edge has soared away 1.6 seconds. He's out of DRS. He's gone. He's on his own accords now. As we're going to see Divine Serenity closing in, and closing in. You can see on the gap there for P13. And he's not close enough, surprisingly. He decided to save around this time a little bit more. And we have a close battle in turn 1, but I kind of want to keep an eye on this one because there's plenty of action that can occur when you look at just random midfield battles, of course. Many would know if they have commentated. You can just look at a random midfield battle and you might see something crazy happen, you know? Sometimes the best battles are the ones for P11. And now Flyer DJ is going to get past Risers with the DRS, but he's going to try to avoid it. Big DRS checking for maybe that back straight there. You don't want to pass too early because, I mean, risers can just get you right back as soon as you, if you can stay in that DRS range. Like, about 7/10. Really. At max. Usually. Anyways, 5 is closing in on risers a lot through these corners because of risers' wing damage. They're going to go side by side past the Venetian Expo. And they're, you know how cautious he must be being. As they go out and all a little bit, this four-way battle is coming alive because they're about to swerve around each other as Solz comes into the pit lane. Well, look at that, because this is some pretty good battling here. I'm expecting some 3-wide action in just a second. No, not yet. Because Shizmer doesn't know how to use ERS, so he can't even do it. But now as they go to the final chicane, oh, side by side, Riser's going to cut the corner there. Fly Gigi's going to get a 3-second time penalty. And I wonder what Riser's going to do as Solz crucially ahead of Pitter Patter. As they go side by side into the final corner. Riser's going to get past here, but just barely. He's going to close right past. Whoa. Very good at cutting across. Now, his teammate comes out right in front of it. Look at, oh my god, look at this battle. 2 wide in rows as they go to turn 2. Amazing stuff here between Rubik's Uter, Divine Serenity, Riser, Shizmer, and Flyer DJs. Now they go side by side towards turn 3. And there's not a quick corner, and they're going to hit him, and there goes into the barrel. Oh, and he loses his tire. Oh, and we have a safety car, a virtual safety car, 3 cars off. And that's Riser's Divine Serenity, and I said there was something that could happen. Riser's has been disqualified by the game in a really stupid game decision. We have a virtual safety car. And Solz has been done so dirty here. Oh, and Edge stays out. 7 stay out. As we go back to green. Okay, that's why. We go back to green flags. That's a really short race interruption there. Risers and Flyer DJ are out of the session with a disqualification and a DNF. As they made contact in the runoff zone. A bunch of people in the pit lane. 3 Toasty, Toasty, Dex, and Young. As now Solz is still going. He's going for this huge undercut here. And will it work in his favor? As they come out of the pit lane here. Hix is gonna not follow his teammate in, of course. Pitter Patter's gonna be in. ZDG Panda's gonna be in. Anyone else? No. I don't think so. As Louis right in the back with Golden Sniper. These two came together earlier on in the race. Now side by side into turn 1. They're going to be really cautious around each other, definitely. As Golden Sniper is able to defend his position in the turn 1. But I don't know how much he will be able to in the... Ooh, and Serenity gets a 10-second time relief for speeding in the pit lane. Probably trying to repair his damage. As now here comes Louis, using a lot of his ERS he might not want to be using. As they go into the 90-degree corner of turn 3, that is. And you can see Lewis, expressing his deep appreciation of Solz' strategy options. Using the league's account, of course. Oh, and that is contact with the wall for MJW. And that'll leave the door open for Panda. On the outside into the Venetian, he's gonna watch out. He's gonna put it in down and try to harvest to avoid passing him. But he's gonna try and go for the inside. Is he a lot? No. That would have been so stupid as 7 comes in with it. Solz passes 7. This is crucial. This is crucial. And Solz is ahead of 7. And you know what? 6 sounds like 7, so you know I'll count it. Oh, and contact here! As we see Dr. B and Golden Sniper come together. Golden Sniper yet again finding carnage at that corner there. As Dr. B has a bad weekend going to worse as now Toasty side by side with FFS Dex going into turn 3. Toasty will be ahead. as MJW comes into the pit lane. We have plenty of local yellows and one virtual safety car, but nothing that has come up big. We're actually going to see side by side here. Whoa, that was outrageous from Dr. B, and he's taken off Shizmer's. I think that might be an end plate missing on the right, on the left side, yeah. And Shizmer will not be happy about that one, will he? Not at all. And Dr. B with some outrageous driving standards. As now Edge is going to be not into the pit lane. Oh, and that is contact again. And I don't think Shizmer is being very nice here, and he's going to take Dr. B for a little spin yet again. As now Shizmer is going to let him back past. And, you know, I'm just going to look at this because... and these two not coming very nicely to each other. That is for sure. He's not straight lining him, so, I mean, that's good. But I do not think they are being very... No, they're being very hyper-aggressive, you could say. And I think Edge now is actually pregged for a safety car or something. Intervention. He might get one if these two, are going to behave like this. In this way. And we're going to see, we're basically coming to the pits for the second time in this race. And behind we actually see Shizmer, who probably put his thing into harvest mode if he wants any ERS. As Toasty gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not. That is race ruining. Because, I mean, in other circuits, of course, you're going to see penalties like that for track limits come around. But at a circuit like this, it's so easy to stay on the track. The real track limits are really just the walls or the runoffs. I mean, the only places you can get anything are if you turn in too early to any chicanes. Or you miss this chicane that where you actually see Dr. B and Shizner in. And I'm surprised Shizner hasn't come into the pits for any pairs, because I would. I would certainly. As Toasty and Dex, as Edge now is going to come up way behind. He's on way newer tires. He's going to make it to the end easily, but he's on a different tire strategy in general, but I wonder how this is going to go. As we see Dex go to the inside of Toasty in a turn one. Nice move. If he can make it stick. He can get it to stick, but Toasty not getting it up. And there he's going to have to give it up as they go through turn two. Now Young is going to be all over this if he was close enough. But now Toasty going to get the move really close to the wall, and he gets it. Nicely done for Toasty to hold on to that P4. He has a time penalty for track limits, but he is still holding on as Dr. B comes into the pit lane. And Shizmer's going to stay out. But now, Lewis Lostwolf, the owner of the league, Lewis, cheers on Solz, but 7 is still there. And Solz is close enough to 7, so, the lead, 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 7, but now here comes 7. He's going to go to the outside to try and hold on to his racing line. He's going to take the lead of the race with DRS nicely. But oh, they're going to be side by side as Solz goes around the outside. And he's going to put it in medium to avoid any... But I think 7 was actually just burning a lot more there. But now Solz going to look for the outside. That's going to make... He's going to go for the switchback. The old swisheroo. And he almost gets it if he can hold on to it. But he can't. As that's Young, who's put out yellow flags out of the final chicane. But now, almost side by side. It might have almost solved it. This has put Edge into the DRS range. Solz on 2-lap older tires. I think they'll both make it to the end easy. But it's about the pace between them and who can do better as they get to the DRS zones in a bit. And does Solz not have the pace advantage in the middle sector? Or the straight even? Because he's already dropped back to 8/10. I might let my teammate through here and try and let them both pass as they're only one of them. Solz is using the British Grand Prix chrome livery, and Edge is using the main one, so they're using separate liveries. As now Edge is going to go past his teammate. They're both going to get DRS here. But which one is going to get the lead here? As here comes Edge on the inside. Into turn 14. He's going to get the move done using DRS. Oh, but 7 is going to hit the back of him. Now this is going to leave the door open for Solz almost. This three-way battle is heating up a lot. As we're going to see Dex closing in, and he's going to get past easy here. Or is he? Edge gets a fast lap of the races. These two almost make a bit of contact there. The Red Bulls and the Alphys have not been nice to each other all season long, and that is Slayus in the barriers. In turn 3, he's going to be lapped in actually a few laps time. If it goes crazy and almost to the inside for Dex. And now Solz behind 7, behind Edge. For the lead of this race, as Edge is probably going to start closing away. And, you know, building a bridge from him and 7 in the middle sector because of the tire advantage that he has. I mean, 4 laps younger tires, and he's on mediums as well. Look at that. Already 810s, you can see there. And it's these differences. As 7, taps the barrier a little bit. He's going to get away with that one, but not by a line. Now we're in these final stages where he could have 7 has used all of his ERS. He's got nothing left. He's not going to be able to catch up at the end of this straight. So, nothing he can do. I mean, there was plenty he could have done. He's going to get a little bit in the corner there. As long as he doesn't burn here. As long as he doesn't burn. Just don't burn. Put it in done through the corners. Harvest all the energy that you can get. There you go. That's how you do it. As one of the Mercedes has found the barriers again. That is Serenity. For the second time in this race, has found the barriers or the runoff zone at turn 3. So interesting there. And as long as 7 isn't burning through here, he's not. He's got it in none, but he's still almost caught up to the Edge. And this three-way battle for the lead is really hot. Solz has dropped back by a second. So he's not going to get the advantage of that drag reduction system unless he's able to pull himself back into it. And if Edge is able to hold 7 up to maybe push him into his teammate. That would be feisty as we come to the about final 6, 7 laps of this race. I'm sorry. I didn't actually mean to do that. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that one. Not at all. Anyway, 7 now is gonna... Or apparently it's actually Sven. But I'm gonna say 7. It just makes sense more. 7 now is gonna close in. He's closing, but he's got it in harvest mode and he's not gonna get the move done. And it's too early for him to be making any outrageous dive bombs, of course. But now here's the thing. Let me show you a little setting here. Ghosting is off. So, when they come up to Slayus here for... Oh, Slayus actually going to come in the pins. They're not going to avoid him. But if they do come up to any lap cars, that lap car is not... Or one of them is not going to be ghosted. So, lap cars can get in the way. In this race. Plenty. As now Toasty's going to get passed by Dex here. And get on through turn 17. Not much he could have done there. But as Dex used a lot of the ERS, no he hasn't. Okay. So this is interesting. And also interesting is 7 is keeping up with Edge. So 7's still getting a bit of DRS assistance as now Slayus has found the barriers. And these Mercedes having a horrible race. As he's been, of course, lapped. So he's not, as Toasty's gotten past. While we were looking at Slayus. Who, of course, only having yellow flags because he's going slow to... Ooh, 7's dropped out of the 1 second. He's burning. He's burning it all to... They're both burning it all. To try and keep some DRS. I think 7 might have gotten it there. Did he? Hasn't. He hasn't gotten anything out of this one, so... It's looking a bit grim here for 7. Unless those tires on Edge's car start to wear out a little bit. My apologies. Dex now is going to be closing in. He's closing in a lot. Not burning anything. It's not the last lap yet where he would want to. Oh, and a bit of contact there between them. Hitting the rear end there. As now, Dex is going to be closing in as they come out of turn 17, side by side. And they've been doing a lot of this. Side by side to turn 1. Dex is going to get the move done. Toasty's not going to be able to continue it. But now he's going to get the DRS. They're going to do a whole swapping thing. As they come out of turns 2. And he's going to squeeze them almost to the barrier there. Oh, and a bit of contact there. And that is going to not sit well with Dex. I'll put a little bit of a foul taste in the mouth there. I'm not going to like that one. As Hicks is being probably annoyed here by Slayus on his soft tires. Oh, and he's going to go way to the inside and unlap himself. Oh, and they're going to make contact. Ooh. And a lot of contact between those two. But the fight here for the lead of this race. 7 side by side. They're going to make contact a little bit. Almost side by side out of turn 16. They're going to push them all the way to the wall. They're going to be burning down the main straight as they go to turn 17 side by side for the lead of this race. And 7 gets it. Takes it away from Edge, who has the new tires. Are going to be on the outside. Go to the outside. Trying to push it. Oh, and Dex has found the barriers. And has lost his full wing. Oh, and he almost takes out Young in the process. And I'm sorry I had to look away there. I saw the car and there was a contact between them and Toasty. But now Edge has lost the lead for real now. And now he's really going to have to pay attention here. Whoa, 7 almost losing it. And now they're going to be side by side to the chicane for the lead of the race. And Edge is going to back out of that one. Toasty comes into the pits. Dex obviously comes into the pits. These Red Bulls and these Alpians are not having good days with each other. And this has completely ruined any chance of Red Bull reaching any title hopes in this team's championship. And they will not be able to do the triple. And according to Lewis, Solz has not got a lap now. Lock in. As you're about 4.5 laps to go. Edge now closing in. Who will it be? Will it be 7? Will it be Edge? Or will it be Solz? Williams or McLaren? They've got 24 seconds to the nearest car behind. Audi RS4 started from 19th on the grid. Currently up to 4th. He's running an amazing race. But now Edge is being closely followed by the Williams of 7. Who is, you know, they're on pretty similar wear tires, I would bet. Edge will be doing 10 laps on his tires. 7 will be doing about 12 on his hard tires. So they should be pretty similar with the tire wear. That also depends on the tire pressures they're running. Are they being smart about that? If they aren't, then that won't be pretty good. I just want to look at any other close battles on the circuit. Rubik's Rooter. Run on the back here for P12. It's not for any. This is actually in IRL. The final points place is 12. So this is for points, and they're gonna almost make contact. A lot of contact there with Shizmer for the final points place. And I'm gonna look away there because we had the battle for the lead. 7 closing in a lot, and he's gonna get past with the DRS. Of course, Solz right behind them. But I wonder how his tires are doing. A 7 is not going to get a good exit. Edge is going to lose out. The McLarens are going to be side by side, and they are chasing. It's a chase down. McLarens and Williams. 7 leads. Solz brings himself up to P2. And now they are right on the back here as we go to 3 laps to go. There's no other battles that are worth looking at except for this one. 3-way battle for the lead. Solz now, I would let your teammate through at this rate. You could try and go for glory, but how much do you want to? How worth it is it? You're losing out. He's lost a second. His tires are not good. I would let my teammate through, and if my teammate's faster, I would let him through. He's holding up his team. 1.3. He's losing the win for McLaren. His teammate is going to be so fast to try and get past. There you go. He lets him through, but at like one of the worst moments, they've lost the DRS to 7, and now they're going to have to deal with this. The pain of that. They're going to have to come back from this in some way. As we'll actually look here as Dex is going to be getting past the EDG Panda on lap 23. And Edge has brought himself back into 1 second, but I don't think he's going to get DRS on this lap, is he? No. And he's had to waste a bit of ERS doing that, but so has 7 actually as well. And the thing is, until it's the last lap, I think Solz should just kind of sit, try and buy this time there. Maybe hope that these two have a collision if he wants to win. But it won't really help with the team game if they have a collision. We know the top 3 is going to be one of those 3. Or will they if they do come to grief with each other? We'll be seeing as we have 2 laps to go. We'll be almost reaching any white flag situations here. All or nothing at the end of this championship. For McLaren, they're not in the real title fight, so is it all or nothing for a win here in the final race? Let's look at the standings here. Actually, you know what? It's not really, yeah, I can't really, see, these are outdated standings here, so I have no idea if the standings I'm looking at are even correct. I can't even see them. We know Young's already won the championship, but who knows about the constructors. But now in the second to last lap, I just want to look back here because we see these two guys going side by side. Golden Sniper and Dr. B, who come to contact before. Well, not now, as now Edge is going to be getting easily past here, but I don't think you want to. You're going to put it in none. Save down this rate as much as you can. Save all the energy that you can possibly achieve. Don't go here because you want the DRS on the last lap. You want to be able to have that assistance to try and make that move. But now we know, as we come to the final lap of this race, it's all or nothing. McLaren versus Williams. 2 McLarens versus 7. They've got no penalties between them. It's all on track here. Will it be Edge? Will it be 7? Will it be Solz? Which one will take victory in Vegas? He's burning plenty. As now they go into the second sector, you want to be as close as possible. And you want to be careful as well. You don't want to lose it because of it, but you also don't want to be careful at the same time because I mean, it's a whole paradox, a whole dilemma. But Edge just has to be thinking here, don't overthink it. Don't make any mistakes by overthinking. Just try and get yourself out of these corners and get going. I just want to look here because Slice has reset back to the track. He's probably going to get a penalty for that one. Ref. Yellow card there. Yellow card, ref. Anyways, here comes Edge. He's got the DRS. He's right on the back here. This could be the win for Edge if he can hold on. They're both burning everything they've got. Edge has more ERS than 7. He's got the DRS as well. Can he do it? Down to turn 14. 7 goes defensive. They're in the middle of the track, pushing him all the way to the inside. Side by side, bit of contact, bit of wheel bang, locking up. 4-7. Edge is going to take the lead of the race. Edge is going to take the lead of the race. As they come out of the final corner, 7 can't do anything. He's lost grip. Edge is going to come across the line to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. As they come out of the final corner, it's going to be Edge victorious out of 7 ahead of Solz. Impressive stuff from these drivers. And it's Edge who's victorious as Louis is going to get taken out in the end. There, I know he's going to get a puncture actually in the end. Oh, wow. Anyways, it's going to be Edge who takes the win. Take a bow, Audi in a P19 to P4 finish. In impressive style. 15 places gained. Youngwa 13 places gained. Pitter Patter comes 6th with Hike EX7. Toasty's going to come 8th. Dex is going to come 9th in a pretty disappointing manner, in his opinion. He'll probably be thinking. GG Panda will come in P10 with these guys fighting here. One of them is lapped. But Rubik's Uter is going to take P11 ahead of Shismer for these two final points paying positions. And they'll all come across the line later in the end as Rubik's Uter actually loses out because of his penalty. But this is your podium. Edge will win the race. Those are your results on the side. It's Edge who is victorious on the streets of Vegas. Congratulations to those on the McLaren team who will win the finale here in Vegas. As we still wait for the end of this race, because Louis is trying to figure out how to... Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, yeah. Congratulations to Edge for winning this race in an amazing battle at the end there. Congratulations to all involved. As Louis is now going to come across the line backwards to finish this race in an unfortunate P15 in his opinion. Edge will win a pretty dramatic Las Vegas Grand Prix. The Canadian is victorious ahead of the American of Svet 7 and the other Canadian and the other McLaren. It's a McLaren 1-3 here in Vegas with their full Canadian lineup who take victory in the States just south of them. Congratulations to the McLaren team, congratulations to Svet 7 for his amazing fighting that he put up. It wasn't to be, but second place, it was still what he would call a pretty good place. It's not the pole to win that he might have wanted, but it is still a second place nonetheless. And that is your field. The top 10, your point scores being Edge, 7's, Solz, Audi, Young, Pitter Patter, Hiex, Toasty, Dex, Panda, and Shismer and Rubik's Uter. V-Carb and Young are your drivers and constructors champions at the end of it, of course. I think they've already won it before the end of the season, anyways. Racing Bulls will sweep Tier 3, and thank you. And we'll see you Sunday for the redo of the Las Vegas Grand Prix in Tier 1. We'll see you then. Goodbye. And if you want to join IRL, use any links we might have, I think. Anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. And all next season for these Tier 3 drivers, they can try to